Hey guys, I have something that was super encouraging to me today, and so I wanted to share it. I feel like it's probably going to be encouraging to somebody else too. So I have been struggling with my own mind, with my thoughts and my feelings, pretty much every single day since at least October, and I've had good moments in those days, but every day has been a struggle in some form. Um, and if you want to know details, you can totally message me. But it's exhausting. Just the constant struggle, the not knowing when things are going to get better, the not knowing what is going to help or if it's going to get worse is exhausting. And it's so discouraging. And so today, um, I'm trying to just push through and I'm trying to use my coping tools, but at the same time, I'm just like, oh Lord, I can't. How am I gonna keep going? I can't keep going. I am feeling so done. And so I sat down in my prayer spot and I just poured my heart out to God. And because I've been doing this regularly through this whole time, God has definitely just guided me through it. And so I can already see that I'm growing in ways that I wouldn't have if I hadn't been going through this struggle. I'm gaining different perspectives that are going to be so helpful for later on. But sometimes, even knowing that, you're like, I don't care. I am just finished. I'm tired. I just want to um, enjoy life again. I don't want all of these hard things anymore. This is too much. And so while I'm pouring my heart out, um, God reminded me that He is my source of strength. That He will sustain me. That me trying to do everything on my own, me trying to rely on myself for strength, that's just another form of control. It's just another form of rebellion. Um, because I'm trying to say, okay, God, like, sure, you save me, you help me through hard times, but I want to get back to the place where I don't need you every single day. Um, and so that's been one of the lessons. The other lesson was just amazing because I'm sitting here and just waiting to hear from God. And I got this realization, and I wrote down, I'm not good at persevering, at holding on to hope. Like, and this is my personality, and maybe a little bit of nurture, as a child as well. But I was known as Eeyore as a kid. Things could be going great, and like the littlest thing happens, and all of a sudden the world is ending. So persevering through hard things has never been something that I have been good at or wanted to do or tried to do. Um, it's always been a personal weakness for sure. And so I realized this and I said, I can see this is an exercise aimed at growing those muscles. Lord, it's painful and exhausting. I am trusting you to see me through. And I just got this picture of how I'm feeling spiritually and mentally, even physically. And it's reminiscent of doing repetitions with heavy weights or running further than what you're used to. And you're just sitting there and you just want to break down and cry and stop. And you're thinking, I can't do this. I give up. And that's what I feel like right now. And in that moment, it felt like God was going, I hear you, but this is going to make you stronger. And pretty wonderfully, during my devotional time, led me to the book of James. And it's just the God speaking to me through his word. It's just the perfect book. And this passage says, "Consider it a great joy, my brothers, whenever you experience various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces endurance. But endurance must do its complete work, so that you may be mature and complete, lacking in nothing." My faith is being tested. And through this testing, it will produce endurance. And that endurance will produce maturity later on. Just kind of with these trials, with these struggles, with having to go through things that I don't want to go through, having to persevere, having to rely on God. I'm in God's gym right now. I am working out, and I don't like working out. It's too uncomfortable. And so James 5, let's see, 5:10, just reiterates that idea that testing and trials and affliction are used to grow us. And it says, "Brothers, take the prophets who spoke the Lord's name as an example of suffering and patience. See, we count as blessed those who have endured. You have heard of Job's endurance and have seen the outcome from the Lord. The Lord is very compassionate and merciful." And if you remember Job, he was not entirely graceful going through his intense suffering. He questioned God. He cried out. He felt lonely. He felt betrayed by his friends. And we see by the way it turns out that God restores him, that God blesses his faithfulness. And so I just want to encourage you guys, whatever you're going through is very hard. And it's probably pretty painful. But God hasn't given up on you. He hasn't left you alone in it. And if you turn to him, if you seek his face, even in the middle of the suffering, if you ask him questions, he will be faithful and compassionate towards you. He will be merciful. And this is just going to be a time that grows your faith, that helps you to grow closer to God and get to know him more, as well as helps you to be able to love and help others who are going through their own trials. So I hope that helps.